Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing good today. Today is Saturday. It's October 6th. Hopefully, you're having a good weekend. I'm spending a quiet evening at home, and so I wanted to shoot this quick video. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is the ExJW community on Facebook. All right, so let's get started. I want to start off by saying this. So I'm always asking you guys to research cults, what they are, how they operate, who they recruit, how they recruit members, how they retain members. All of that information is important because once you leave the group, you're going to see that the cult will manipulate situations both in your everyday life as well as your online activity. And again, it's meant to manipulate you. And sometimes we play into that and we got to be careful. Okay. So, for example, online in the Facebook groups, Watchtower has people planted in so many of those groups. You got to exercise discretion. So, for example, if I start a Facebook group, it has the name Jesus in it. Or I start a different group, it has the name God in it. I start a group, it has the word Christian or Christianity in it. I start a different group, that group has the word Bible in it. Any of those groups, Watchtower is going to enter those groups and monitor them. And basically, Watchtower is just trying to monitor what is being said about Jehovah's Witnesses. If favorable comments are being made about Jehovah's Witnesses, Watchtower pretty much won't do anything, right? But let's suppose something negative or unfavorable about Watchtower is said. Watchtower may not break out an argument right then and there amongst the group members, but Watchtower will wait a while, and then at some later time you'll see an argument break out amongst the members. And basically, the whole point is just to cause disruption. It's meant to get the members going at each other's throats, squabbling, and the next thing you know, some people are leaving the group and all of this. And that's all Watchtower wants. All right. And it's no different in the XJW community. When Watchtower monitors the XJW community, basically Watchtower, depending on the content of the group, that's you're gonna see the amount of aggression that or the disruption is going to correlate to whatever is being said in the group. So basically, in the support group, you don't see too many arguments. It's being monitored, no doubt, but you don't see too many arguments in that group. There are other groups, XJW discussion, XJW witnesses, and again, in those groups, basically, people just ask all kinds of questions. They'll ask you anything. What is your sex life like after you left the group? What are your religious beliefs now that you left the group? Oh my God, this is the first time I'm celebrating my birthday. So it's they basically talk about everyday life after they've left the group. And again, you don't see too many arguments in either of those groups. There's one XJW group. It's called Bass Apostate Army. And that group is the headquarters for protest organizing in the XJW community. And if you enter that group, you're going to notice there's a lot of bickering and arguments amongst the members, and that's intentional. Again, Watchtower places so many people in those groups for that exact purpose. And keeping in mind the purpose of the group, the mission of that group is to organize protests and XJW activism. So, of course, of all the XJW groups on Facebook, that is the one that Watchtower is going to go after the most. So, if you're a member of that group, please just be mindful. If you see bickering and arguments breaking out, I recommend don't get involved. Don't get involved. And don't add to it. Don't contribute to it. If you notice there's a person, the same person that is either starting arguments or posting comments or posting statements that could lead to arguments that are hot topics that could start that push people's buttons, avoid that person or block that person because that person 9 times out of 10 is in the group intentionally to start problems. And you have to be careful because when we leave the calls, we already have all kinds of issues and and all kinds of problems. Some of us are being shunned by our families. So we already have enough stress in our lives. And once we enter the ExJW community online, we don't need to engage ourselves in any kind of exchange that is only going to, bring negative energy into our lives. So that is my advice. If you see arguments and things breaking out, 9 times out of 10, it orchestrated. It was planned. And the more bickering and arguing that occurs, the happier Watchtower is. The longer that bickering and arguing goes on, the happier Watchtower is, because that's exactly what they need from the group. And what they're hoping is that people do exactly what I did. They spend a week or so in that group, and they said, you know what, this group is not going to get anything accomplished because they're arguing all the time. And so, and what did I do? I left the group. I left the group. I did leave the group, but I did not leave XJW activism. So I'm very active in that. I do a lot of the things of my XJW activism. I do it behind the scenes. Um, and, again, I feel a personal sense of satisfaction. For me, XJW activism, it heals me. And I really can't explain how the peace of mind that it gives me. It gives me, even though I don't have I have 3 siblings who are still Jehovah's Witnesses who will not speak with me at all. And so XJW activism, it doesn't replace them, but at least it helps me deal with that hurt. Okay, so, I enjoy doing it. And that's why I'm a huge proponent of it. And I'm not discouraging you from joining the group, vast apostate army. I'm just saying, if you do, please don't contribute to the arguing and bickering and all of that. And if you see it happening, just do not engage. I'll go a step further, and I said this earlier. The cult, when people leave the cult wants to see, can they in some way disrupt your life or cause enough stress in your life to where you feel like you want to go back. You need the support of your family. They want to know, can they push your buttons, hard enough to make you go running back to them. And so sometimes they put people in your life, and this person may have an awful temper. They yell, they scream, they're abusive, and this and that. And again, they just create a negative energy in your life. And you need to be careful and guard against it so that they don't transfer their energy onto you and then they drag you into this negative space with them. All right, you've already come out of a cult. You've already been through enough trauma with the cult. None of us need any additional stress and problems in our lives. And so I strongly recommend that, whether it be online or in your everyday active life, anyone that is not contributing to anyone who's causing disruption in your life, you need to distance yourself from them. You don't need to engage and interact and do all this stuff with them. You really just need to distance yourself. Okay. And I say that for myself. I personally am getting better with that. And I encourage you all to do the same. Do not don't get yourselves into situations and stay in situations where you're interacting with people who are causing arguments and stress and all kinds of nonsense in your life. You've gotta really, do what you can so that you're taking care of yourself, because again, just the cost alone has been enough, and you don't want to take on any additional problems that you can spare yourself if you can. So again, if you're in the XJW community online and the Facebook groups, please don't when you see people starting arguments and stuff, just block them. Don't encourage them to keep going on, and don't participate in it. Don't take sides. Don't, because I promise you, they're just going to keep arguing. Things will simmer down for a day or two, and then they'll be right back to at each other's throats. And so it's important that we don't contribute to any of that. We have to make sure that we don't participate in it. For me, one of the things I enjoy doing is I'm in the Jehovah's Witness groups, and I'm in 2 of them. And in both groups, what we do is we interact with the Jehovah's Witnesses. And we, whenever they post something or sometimes they ask a question, we'll just answer it. We'll just answer it, and we share with them information that exposes Watchtower. We expose it. We expose the flaws in their beliefs. We um, we share memes and things with them. We share links to various websites. A big thing that's in the news right now is the child sex abuse cover up. So we share those stories and that information with them. I will say this: a lot of the current Jehovah's Witnesses do not know anything about the child sex abuse cover up. They don't know about the Australian Royal Commission. This recent case that was settled in Montana, many of them don't know about it. And so, exposing that cover up is important, especially if the person is a parent and has small children. That kind of story can really plant a seed of doubt where they feel that this is an issue that, is really for them. It really makes them question the cult and investigate the cult. And that's what you want them to do. You want them to start asking questions and digging for answers. And so that's very important. It's very important. So, and that's why I encourage activism. Again, as much as I enjoy helping others, a portion of it helps me heal. So it's a win-win situation for me. All right, so that's the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great holiday weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.